Davante Adams trade official. From the Raiders to the Jets, what's it mean for this man right here, Breece Hall? What's it mean specifically for Garrett Wilson? The impact is tremendous. The impact from an NFL perspective and a fantasy football perspective could take hours to break down and assess and predict. Let's break it all down the best that we can live. Let's react to this puppy. Wow. It's finally done. Davante Adams catching footballs from Adams-Rodgers. Was it a week too late? Should they have done this last week? Or could Adams have even played? Maybe Adams was not even able to play and they thought, let's save $900,000. Of course, that is something to consider, but I mean, they've got a little bit of a hole to dig out of the Jets, but they could maybe do it. This is the best opportunity. And let's be honest, as much as people want to rip on the refs and rip on the Jets and rip on this, rip on that, they looked pretty damn good last night. If you take away some of the penalties, you give the touchdown back to Braylon Allen, there's a lot that went good for this Jet team. They looked very much like a Green Bay Packer offense married a Houston Texan offense, and they were moving the football down the field. But man, Adams in New York is not good for Garrett Wilson. It's just not. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Do we have an intro?
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
I hit the phone call button a little too early, so understand that I'm not answering the phones yet. But we will open the phone lines in just a second. But I mean, damn, let's break this down. Had Garrett Wilson not bounced back yet, we might be looking at a situation where Garrett Wilson saw a mix-up that allowed him to maybe get back on track or become useful again. But from what we saw last night, where this offense started to move the football differently, facilitate it, surprise the defense, mix things up, run the ball, throw different routes and run different route trees. Like Garrett Wilson's been used in such a poor fashion all year long. Just absolute waste of space. Waste of play calling, waste of everything. Hackett was awful. And as I've already alluded to 1,000 times, the New York Jets needed to fire Saleh last year, not this year. They should have done it already last year. And Hackett especially. And it was the right move. It was a shakeup that, like I predicted, would have them running the damn ball. Because Breece Hall had a combined 30 yards over 2 straight games walking into the firing of Robert Saleh, and that was inexcusable. One of those games, Breece Hall had 4 yards rushing. The other was a 20-something yard rushing affair. Breece Hall was used 30 yards on the ground in 2 straight games. Saleh needed to be fired, and Hackett needed to be removed, if not fired. But they removed him from play calling duties, kept him around just so Adams-Rodgers could have his buddy. But they needed to do this. This was a brilliant move. As much as a lot of people think it wasn't, it was brilliant. And it got Garrett Wilson back on his horse. And we already saw it. You can't want this for Garrett Wilson. You can't. There's no way to justify that this is good news for Garrett Wilson. It's not. It can't be. Now, Lazard takes a big nut sack kick, maybe. Or maybe Garrett Wilson takes a bigger nut sack kick. Someone's given up yardage and targets and touchdowns and receptions to Davante Adams. And keep in mind, as much as this could be maybe a crowded room for Davante Adams in the wide receiver room, he is still going to walk out into the backyard and start catching balls from his best friend. And they're going to have that rapport and that ability to go almost right back to where they were. I don't know that we're 100% looking at like the Davante Adams of old. I'm not an idiot, but I certainly believe that there's going to be no transition period, really. It's going to be, hey, Adams, I know what you're thinking. Back shoulder, boom. Adams and Adams-Rodgers are like this, and Aaron Rodgers told us this on the golf course when he was interviewed in the offseason. Hey, what do you think about Adams? Love him. Can't wait to play with him again. Not, I hope to play with him again. Someday I'll play with him again. He said, I can't wait to play with him again. Aaron Rodgers watched the right episode of The Simpsons. The Simpsons probably called this the entire time. It's been sitting right in front of our face. This third round pick that can go to a second round pick conditional compensation from Adam Schefter. This trade, look at this man in the uni, the 17. Remember the change in jersey number from 17 to 5 for Garrett Wilson? That was his demise. He should have held on to the number 17. Now Davante Adams comes right in and says, thanks for holding my beer. I'm ready to rumble. I think this can't be good on any level for Garrett Wilson. It may not be the death of Garrett Wilson's fantasy value, but certainly doesn't improve it, especially when we saw it already get vastly improved over the last 2 games. We've seen Garrett Wilson kind of return to the form we expected, or get to the form that we expected. And now, right after 2 weeks of having that kind of production, this happens. The rug gets pulled out from Garrett Wilson a little bit. Now, what happens to Breece Hall? I would probably say Breece Hall is the more likely candidate to have nothing change too much for him, because the targets that get taken from whoever is going to be given to Adams probably comes from the pass catching room. There's still going to be plenty of checkdowns. Aaron Jones was used plenty with Davante Adams and all the wide receivers that surrounded that wide receiver room back in Green Bay. I do think Breece Hall continues to get work. I think if anything, Breece Hall could be what I think Garrett Wilson owners want for Garrett Wilson. A maybe small benefactor. Instead of taking even a little hit, he might take a little bit of a bump, just because now defenses are going to be kept off honest. They're going to be kept off the line of scrimmage a little bit more, less 8-man fronts, more wide open rushing lanes, more wide open lanes when he's pulling a pass in from the flat. This is a potential situation that has this man more efficient. Maybe he gets a touch, like a single 1 or 2 touch decrease in having Adams there to consume, but his efficiency goes up. His yards per carry go up. His yards per catch go up. His potential red zone looks go up. Everything goes up except for maybe the total volume that he gets, but his efficiency goes up. So at the end of the day, he's probably producing more. Just think about it for a second. If Davante Adams, who commands double teams his entire career, goes out there and keeps the defense honest, and you have Garrett Wilson, who still from a football perspective is a phenomenal player to have on the field in conjunction with an Adams and Hall combo, you're going to have defenses completely consumed and incapable of worrying where Breece Hall is. Teams and defenses will have to allow Breece Hall to run all over them in order to win a game. They can't let the pass win the game. They can't let Garrett Wilson and Adams dice up the entire defense over and over and over. This has to be a slow gain of yardage through way of run or not at all. That's what defenses will hone in on and say, let's let them slowly try and get into the end zone, make mistakes, fumble the ball, whatever, instead of letting big chunk plays get this Jet team into goal-to-go situations. This could be good for Breece Hall. This is obviously good for Aaron Rodgers. This is obviously good for Davante Adams, who is worthless in Las Vegas anyway. So his value goes up. Does it go up to the Adams of old? No. But does it go up? It absolutely does. Garrett Wilson can only go down. How down? I don't know. You know, you look at Lazard and what Lazard's been doing. If Garrett Wilson can take Lazard's role, he's still a top 15 wide receiver. But I don't know. I don't know if Lazard's still going to command a lot. It's hard to know. Mike Williams, the body catcher, the Buffalo catcher, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's running around all over the field, flapping his arms all over. Got injured last night trying to catch a football. This guy gets injured everything. Everything he does creates an injury. He's constantly getting banged up. So Mike Williams, goodbye. We'll see you later. Send the body catcher somewhere else. We'll see here how this goes, but this certainly is a rude awakening to Garrett Wilson owners. So interesting stuff. Wow. What a morning. Are we trading Adams? Mixon for Adams. I'd rather have Mixon probably if you need an RB, and I'd rather have Adams if you need a wide receiver, bro. There's some excitement here, but I don't know if we are getting ahead of our skis if we're expecting him to be an elite wide receiver one. I think he could be a low-end wide receiver one. I don't think it's necessarily known what this is going to look like. I don't think we don't have a blueprint for this kind of mid-season drama that puts this guy, Davante Adams, on a team where a top 10 wide receiver already exists, where a top 1 to 5 running back already exists, where a team that just got their crap together and played one very good football game from a offensive efficiency perspective, regardless of the refs and different things that happened in that game. This is a Jets team that finally got on their horse, and they're exciting. The Brickster, new head coach of this team, Brick knows what he's doing. Brick knows how to excite this team. Brick got things done. Brick was a leader of men last night. And you could rip on different things all you want, different facets of the Jets offense or the penalties or whatever, but Brick got things going. And now they've got a guy named Davante Adams, who Aaron Rodgers, we know, is going to feed. It's hard to know. I'd say Mixon if you need an RB, Adams if you need a wide receiver. Pretty even Steven if you ask me. Would I rather have Adams over Garrett? Yes, I would. RIP fantasy team as a Wilson owner. It's hard to say. I mean, this is why we talked about it last week, so you had a chance to get rid of Garrett Wilson if you were fearing this to happen, which it was still 50-50 at least to happen as of last week. So no offense to anybody, and I don't mean this to put salt in the wound, but you had an opportunity to trade him. Like if you have Garrett Wilson right now and you're left going, damn it, you had a full week, 2 weeks to get this trade done. I'm not trying to pour salt in the wound. I'm just saying, like, it's been very known that if he moves, 50% chance. It did go down from like 80 to 50 in terms of the feel because there were reports saying maybe a trade won't happen. But if it was going to happen, it was 80-90% likely the Jets, and it still felt 50-50 to go down. So, I mean, you had a chance. Jets money line against the Steelers is -122, says Justin. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. This one here from Killa says $10 hauler, need a wide receiver. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson, Dell, Deontay. Good luck getting rid of Wilson now. Running backs are Gibbs, Monty, Bigsby, Chubb, Dowdle, CMC, IR. Was thinking of Monty for Terry. I think you need to get more. I like Scary Terry, but Monty's a top 6 to 12 running back. He dances anywhere in that range. Talk to the Lamb owner, no bite. Any suggestions? Jamar Chase, JJ. Take a gamble on, not take a gamble. Go after Neighbors. Take a gamble that the Neighbors owner is a little fearful of what's going on. You could go in that direction. But I do think that Scary Terry is a solid option, no doubt about it. But is he worth Monty? I don't know that I would go that direction. I think Monty commands just a little bit more given the productivity you're going to get from him from a touchdown perspective, my guy. So I'm going to say no go on that one, but maybe you go after Tyreek Hill and something. Maybe you go after MHJ and a very solid running back. You take that gamble. Maybe you go after Nico and get a running back. There's certainly a lot of avenues to take. If you go after those other wide receivers like Nico or Puka or even MHJ, injured players, you've got to get something back in the running back department, and maybe it's good enough that you say, damn, like this is a move to make. Puka's interesting, but he's going to take some time. Would I take Cooper Kupp and something from Monty? Yeah. You might get more, you might not. I don't know. Kupp's hard to value. Running back heavy and need a wide receiver. Acham, Bijan, Hunt, Bigsby, Ford, Chubb, Delworthy, Adunze, Keon. Thinking of trading Bucky to the Rashad White owner, Bucky, Dell for AJB. If you can get that done, I'd take AJB in a heartbeat. I don't think you're going to get that done personally. That's a tall order, my broski. But would I trade that for Nico and wait on him? I probably would. Would I trade Bucky and Dell for Kupp? Of course I would. Would I trade it for Devontae Smith even? Bye week free? Probably. I love Dell. I love Bucky, but Bucky's in a crowded room. I don't even know if Bucky's attractive for the Rashad White owner. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Trey Tucker now feels like he's also muddying up those waters. But I think Tyreek Hill might be even a better bet than AJB because AJB just came off a big game. DK I'd take as well. DK, absolutely. Either one of those would be a smash. Rampage with the blank $4.99. Appreciate you dropping that, pal. Superfly, yo Smitty, need help. 1 in 5. K1, Mason, Bijan, Marv, CD, Neighbors, Deontay, Wright, Tracy. What can I do to turn the season around? Probably say you got to let this ride. There's no way to really trade Mason at this point. I had a video up of how to trade him earlier if you wanted to, but you're kind of stuck at this point unless you were able to trade him for, let's say, an injured JT, which would be an option. So I'll suggest that. Bijan, but I don't know if that's doable anymore. Go after maybe something along the lines of I mean, you could take a gamble like on a Jacobs if you can get an elite looking wide receiver back as well. But Mason's tough to trade. Oh, you got Bijan. Sorry. Marvin, you got him. CD. It's a good team. Look, Marvin, CD, Neighbors, Bijan, Mason. I probably let this ride. I think you're more of a victim of just bad schedule, injuries, etc. But if you can muster up a win this week, or even if you didn't, I've seen 0-6 teams come back. You're equivalent to an 0-6 team if you lose next week. I don't know that trading is going to necessarily get you where you need to get unless you were to trade Mason for 2 players, one being Tyreek Hill and another, one being Puka, and then you get obviously a much better running back than you would if you took Tyreek Hill on. Nico Collins, and you take on an RB that you still think is going to be pretty damn good, like a Jacobs or something, and take the gamble on that. But that's the best move for your squad, to be honest with you. This one's from Michael. Michael, appreciate you. Says, hey, Smitty, can you rate my team? Danny Dimes, AR5, Brees, Monty, Hunt, Evans, BT, Pittman, Laporta. It's a good team. I'd say, you probably need to take a look at what Hunt and maybe Pittman or Hunt and BT could get you. Try and get that Hill. Try and get that potential player. I would, in your situation with Monty being bye week free, Brees being on his horse, you could explore trading Hunt away if need be. I love a guy like Nico Collins if you can wait. I love a guy like Puka Nacua if you can wait. You're 3-3. You're not like your back's not against the wall. I think if you were to survive and stay afloat, getting rid of a Hunt for an injured Nico Collins, it could do you wonders later. And that's definitely something I'm looking at. I think BT and Hunt could probably get you a Hill. It could probably get you, I don't think you get a Lamb, but bro, I've seen people do it, so you just take a stab at it. Take a stab at all those players in that territory, bro. Trade targets, want to package Hunt and Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Lamb. Hill's probably your best bet, Crazy. Honestly, he's the best option. What can I get giving away Garrett Wilson? Straight up, I don't know, bro. I don't think this is the wrong time to do this, Darwin. I hate to tell you, but you needed to do this last week if you were going to trade him at all. Now you're not getting anything straight up. 2 for 1 maybe. Garrett Wilson and a Kareem Hunt to try and get that doubted Hill. Garrett Wilson for Nico. That might be the way to go. You might have to go crazy weird, bro, and get a Nico Collins and wait on it. That's probably the best option if you're going to do something. Traded Hunt and Keenan Allen for JT. I think that is, I think that's a pretty good smash. I think Hunt's very undervalued, but yes. Is DJ and Evan Ingram too much for either Wilson or Adams? And which one would you rather have? DJ Moore and Evan Ingram for Wilson or Adams? I mean, bro, why would we go get Wilson right now? I'd rather have Adams, but it seems like it's an okay price tag, but I'm not going to get Garrett Wilson right now. I'm not running toward those flames. Would you trade Slayton, Harris, and Brooks for Swift? I'm fine with that. Would I rather have a Kyron? Of course I would. It's like asking me would I rather have a Flaming Young or a dirty hamburger that's laying on the floor. Like, I mean, it's a big difference, bro. Already have Barkley, Mixon, Moss, and Mason. If you already got Mixon, Barkley, and Mason, you might as well go after a receiver. Use that to go get Tyreek Hill. Like, what are we doing going after another RB in that situation? 10 team, 4-2. JD, Mahomes, Gibbs, Jacobs, Mason, Brooks, Benson, JJ, Dell, BT, Keon, Coleman, Kincaid trades I should be looking to do. I'm trying to get rid of Brooks or Mason, maybe in conjunction with BT, to go get a doubted Lamb, a doubted Jamar Chase. Probably not going to happen. Tyreek Hill, smash, smash, smash. Do it all day long, baby. What up, Smitty? Got offered trade Gibbs and McBride for Jamar Chase and Freiermuth. I'd rather have probably Gibbs and McBride if you need a tight end, and Muth is your guy. I mean, it's close. You know what? Give me Jamar. Give me Jamar. It's close. Obviously, I'm wavering, so it's dead even, near dead even. I'd probably rather have Jamar Chase in some respect. The thing is, Gibbs is bye week free. McBride's fantastic. I waver on that one, bro. Chat, vote on that one. Would you rather have Chase or McBride and Gibbs? I'm going back and forth. I'm kind of wanting Gibbs again. Gibbs is bye week free, bro. He's already had his bye week. I'd be very tempted. I think I'm going to say Gibbs. Gibbs and McBride. Hurts, Kyron, Gibbs, Tracy, Brooks, Jamar, AJB, Downs. Great team. Kraft. Do I go after Garrett Wilson on the cheap? I mean, using Brooks, sure. Using Tracy, maybe. But that's it. You got Kyron and Gibbs, so I'm pretty good. You're bye week free for both those RBs. You got Ray Davis. I would do that, Jay, but that's about it. I don't think I'm giving up anything other than that. Dude, I'm 1-5. I'm cooked, shaking my head. 12-team league. JD5, Bijan, Achane, Cup, Evans, McBride, Tank Dell, J-Mo. I don't think you're cooked. I mean, look, you've had injuries. Evans, Cup, McBride, Tank Dell, J-Mo. It's a good team. You know, J-Mo and Bijan for a slight RB upgrade, maybe. You know, go after just a tiny upgrade. Gibbs would be perfect. Gibbs is on the down right now. Keep Achane. Past that, I'm holding that team because it's very good. You got a very good squad. This is a $20 hauler from Jason. Jason, appreciate you. 14-team league, 3-3. Gino, Amon-Ra, Cup, JK, Achane, Dell, Bench, Waddle, Mostert, IR, Tua. Bye week offered Madison and Amon-Ra for JJ. Why would that be appealing to you at all? Madison, I know you need a running back, but like Madison, I get, you know, he's okay, but like that's not downgrading me from Amon-Ra, who I think is amazing, to JJ. You need to give me like a Jacobs. You need to give me something of note. Hell no. Trade JK and maybe Waddle, or JK and Amon-Ra to get a Jamar Chase, or you know, a doubted Lamb, bro, right now is the way I'm going to go. And as far as an RB, go after Jacobs on the cheap, go after JT injured. You could even give that same package up for JT potentially. I think Gibbs is probably the best buy low. Gibbs and JT are the best buy low RBs right now. Would you trade Bucky, Waddle for Cup and Chubb? Absolutely take Cup and Chubb. That's easy. That's an easy call, bro. Boss, appreciate your super chat here. Boss has just traded Mason, CMC, and Cup for Achane and Diggs. Did I win? Traded Mason, CMC, and Cup for Achane and Diggs. I think it's pretty arguable. I'd probably say the Mason side might have more upside, but there's certainly some risk as well. It's high risk, high reward. But I wouldn't say you smashed it. I wouldn't say that. Breezy says, would you trade Bucky and Waddle for Cup and Chubb? Oh, I already answered that one. Yes, I would definitely do that one. Traded my Dell, Hunt, and Brooks, Ford, and Neighbors, and Braylon Allen. I have Hall on the roster. Traded my Dell and Hunt and Brooks for Ford and Neighbors. I'd rather have the Neighbors side. Yes, sir. Close, though. Rampage with a $5 hauler. 10-man league. I got Love, Josh Allen, Brees, Najee. Say got offered JJ for Jacobs and Davante Adams. So take JJ and run. That's exactly how I used the Davante Adams value for sure. Michael, appreciate you. 12.5 Hurts, Fields, Kyron, Pollard, Deontay Johnson, Pickens, worthy of Doomsday Craft. Any moves? I'd probably say you're keeping Kyron no matter what. I'd trade Pollard on the high. I'd be tempted to trade Chase Brown on the high just because he's got a lot of value. I just don't trade Debo or AJ Brown. So if it's like Deontay, which probably won't get you much, Deontay, Pollard for like, I don't know that you can even really do anything. I'm trying to get JT. I'm trying to get Gibbs somehow. You're not going to get those guys with that. I guess the RBs of choice of note, maybe, Kamara's a little bit cheaper than he should be. You probably won't get Kamara either, but that's something I would definitely explore. Other RBs that come to mind using that would be like Mixon would be tempting. Montgomery, obviously, Mason, Achane. Those are all the guys that try Achane. Pollard, and you might have to give up. Debo. Deontay and Chase Brown and Pollard for Achane. I don't know. I've seen people do it. How about Cook? How about you take a gamble on James Cook? See if you can get Ray Davis. But James Cook is still solid. Walker, Kenneth Walker. That's who I'd go after. Walker for sure. Full PPR trade Bijan and Achane. Bijan for Achane and Tank. I take Achane and Tank. Very easy call. I got Garrett Wilson and Adams can coexist. Both decoy one another. No. Sorry, Ray. Garrett Wilson will exist. I'm not saying he goes away, but he's not going to coexist like you think. That's coming from somebody who owns Garrett Wilson. Anybody who says Garrett Wilson goes up in value owns Garrett Wilson. They're just hoping that that's the case. Been trying to trade for weeks. Mason, nobody wants him. At this point, Ivy, you got to just ride it out. I mean, he's got lots of value. Just do your best to get CMC if you can. If not, you're trading for an injured JT, a Nico Collins, and something like a Jacobs and Nico. Traded James Conner, J-Mo Lockett for Cup. Look, that guy got a lot of value, though. You both did good. If you had the depth to do it, I'm fine with taking on Cup. But Connor and J-Mo and Lockett's a good haul for whoever accepted that trade. You both got a lot. Drop Keon for Rome Odunze or Juju. Probably say Odunze long-term, Juju for the now. Sure. Early morning, Smitty, really going live whenever news breaks. That's right. Being offered Madison, Kirk, and Njoku for my Olave. I'd rather have Olave. I think you're getting rid of Olave in like a knee-jerk panic reaction. Like, let's just get rid of him. No thanks. I know concussions suck. I know he's out a week probably, and that sucks, but it is what it is. What's up, Smitty? 10-team, PPR, 5-1, first place. I have Lamar, London, MHA, Hall, Monty, Ingram, Bench Kincaid, Chase Brown. I just traded Monty and Higgins for Gibbs. I think that you could argue this. Look, Higgins and Monty's solid. That's a solid haul. And a lot of people think Monty's better than Gibbs right now. So I would almost say you overpaid on fair market value alone. I'm not saying I don't like it, Tori. I personally want Gibbs over Monty. But Monty's that good. In especially everyone's eyes, I think you sold as if everyone agreed that Monty is, not as good as Gibbs. And that's not the way the world's looking at it right now. So could you have got more? Yeah. Do I still like to trade for you? I do. I think your team's amazing. Allen, Barkley, Hall, Kyron, Mixon. Lamb owner wanted to trade him for Barkley, asking for more. Allen, Barkley, okay. Lamb owner wanted to trade him, asking for more. Look, Barkley's worth more than Lamb. If you're trading Barkley for Lamb and you're trying to give up more with Barkley, you're making the wrong move. Because Barkley is the bye week out of the way, bro. That's not the way that works. Barkley is worth more. He'd go higher than Lamb. Should I trade? He's trying to trade Lamb as if Lamb's going nuts. Should I trade for Davante Adams with Puka? I could get behind the Davante, especially if you need value now. Getting impatient, seeing him on the bench. Yeah, I'm fine with that trade. Puka, I'm fine with either trade. Like, let's say you could wait on Puka. I'm fine with you taking Puka. If you need the value now, go Davante Adams. I understand. Rate my team. Allen, Chuba, Jacobs, Bijan, Amon-Ra, Tyreek Hill, Higgins, Deontay Reed. Okay, Hawkinson, Brooks on IR. Try to trade Brooks and Reed, Brooks and Higgins for like an injured JT and an Achane. Jacobs and Higgins and Reed. Like, you could go get Neighbors injured right now. Go get potentially. And you probably won't get Lamb, but you try. Bijan for Lamb, and you give up something small in addition. Traded McBride and Nico, I assume that is. Nick. I assume that's Nico. McBride, Nico, third, fourth for Achane, Wright, and Penix Jr. Love. The Dolphins used 2 running backs. Did I win? No, not in Dynasty. I'd rather have Nico Collins in Dynasty. I love Achane. I don't think you lost the trade, but I don't think you won it. I think there's arguments to make on both sides, but trading Nico Collins in Dynasty, I don't know about that. 12-team PPR 4-2. Rate my team. I have Allen, Chuba, Bijan, Jacobs, Amon-Ra, Tyreek, Higgins, and that Achane and Nico trade. Again, it's not bad. I think you just didn't win it. It's like it's arguable. It's pretty even. I'd rather have Nico though, probably a little bit. It's wide receiver Dynasty, a lot more shelf life. Chuba, Bijan. Did I already do this one? Higgins, Deontay Reed, Kincaid, Hawkinson, and Brooks on IR. Yes, I already did this one. So yeah, try and trade Jacobs, Bijan. And I'm not saying trade Bijan no matter what, but Higgins and Bijan for like a Kyron, or Bijan for Gibbs, and you throw in Deontay or something like that. Kyle with the super. Kyler, St. Brown, Davante Smith, Jacobs, Barkley, Bowers. I like this team a lot. I'm trying to move maybe Chase Brown and Jacobs or Davante Smith for like a Hill or above. I certainly go after lamb chops right now. If I could get Davante Smith and Jacobs together to get lamb chops, I'm doing it. I think JT's a good buy low using Jacobs and something. Achane's always a buy low for me. This is a $20 hauler from George. I'm 3-3, and I think I can manage the hit to Wilson, moves or hold. I mean, you do a good team. Cup DK. Yeah, I'd probably say you do have the ability to weather this. The only thing I would look to do is upgrade Cousins, bro. Garrett Wilson and Cousins for a quarterback. Josh Allen was the guy because everyone seemed to doubt him walking into last night. It's so wild. But, bro, go get a quarterback. You use Garrett Wilson to upgrade into a Jalen Hurts, or I'd honestly trade Cousins, and I'm trying to see what you could do. You got AR5 coming back, which is interesting. I'd probably say hold if I'm you. Unless you're trading away, let's call it Garrett Wilson and what about Nico? I'd be tempted. But yeah, I'd probably hold. Your team looks pretty good. Adams, thank you for the $20 hauler. I consider Nico in something for Garrett Wilson. Adams for MHJ. I'd rather have MHJ long term. Adams short term. Thank you, Brian. Adams short term. MHJ long term. I know MHJ is hard to hold right now. It's impatient. Knicks, not Nico. Okay. Apologies. Please reevaluate. Then Achane is, you crushed it. Knicks, yeah, you crushed it. Achane, that's an absolute smash. Nice job. Trade Nico Collins and Pacheco to get K9, Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I'd much rather have, with Nico being out 4 games, K9 and Bowers and BT. That's fantastic, Jacob. That's great. Garrett Wilson for Achane by a mile, by a country mile. This one right here I already did. Definitely trying to get my hands on a lamb chop somehow. Just undervalued lamb. Jacobs and Davante Smith for JT and something also might suffice, but I'd want to get more. This one right here from Ricky. Ricky, appreciate you too. You're in second place, 4-2. JD5 Kyron, K Walker. Good team. I'd trade Dobbins on the high if possible. Chubb on the high if possible. Garrett Wilson with one of them. I'm going after Kupp. I'm going after Tyreek Hill. I'm going after Lamb. Adams. And you got Higgins too. Like Higgins and Dobbins. Adams and Dobbins. Go after Lamb. Go after even JT. Achane for sure, unless you already have Achane, but closed it already. Didn't understand you. Should I trade away JJ for Jacobs and Adams? No. Rampage, how'd you not understand me when I said JJ? JJ's the answer, my guy. Don't trade JJ. Should I trade away JJ for Jacobs and Adams? No. I got Josh Allen. Any players you recommend me trade away? I'd probably say trade away Zay Flowers on the high right now. Zay and Najee for JT injured. Zay for Nico and something if you can get something back. Jacobs and Zay for, I think JT's perfect. Kamara might be good as well. A running back in that territory. And if you have a couple that come to mind, let me know and we'll reevaluate it. Love, Geno, Kyron, Mixon, Bigsby, MHJ, Debo, Flowers, Higgins, Worthy, Otten. Any moves? Probably say give me, I would hold a lot of this. Flowers and Higgins, Flowers and MHJ for Lamb, Flowers and Higgins and, let's see, Mixon. I like Mixon a lot, but I would trade Higgins or Flowers with Mixon to upgrade that into Gibbs. That's me. Mixon's pretty tough to evaluate because if he continues and stays healthy, he's freaking balling. But I'd take my shot on just like Hall bounced back and everybody doubted him. I think Gibbs is going to explode. Stroud, Hall, Cook, Braylon, Brooks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico, Tyreek, Reed, BT, J-Mo, Dell, Bowers. Any moves? Probably say like James Cook is hard to trade right now, but I try. Brooks is hard to trade right now, but I try because Chuba's going so good. He's going strong. But like a J-Mo or a Reed or a BT with Cook to get that JT or that Kamara or that HN or that Jahmyr Gibbs is the route I'm taking all day long with that team. Traded my Bijan, McLaurin, and Jacoby Myers for Olave, Hall, and Dell. I'd rather have Olave, Hall, and Dell. But it's arguable for sure. I mean, there's good talent on both sides. What running backs do you have higher than Bijan rest of season? Kyron, Breece Hall, Kamara, Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, HN, probably Kenneth Walker by a hair. And then you start getting into a very cloudy, territory. Trade Mason and Garendo for Adams and Bigsby. I'd probably say no, but that could change, subject to change based on news, based on a lot of things, but very, very close. Real quickly, couple phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Just a couple quick 30 seconds. No full team breakdowns. You list your full team, I'm hanging up on you. I can't do a full team breakdown, especially when super chats are coming in. Let's see here. 347 caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Smitty Dre from New York?
What's up, Dre from New York? What can I do for you?
Just wondering what you think, how much fab will you drop on Ray Davis? I own Cook as well. So
I mean, it's close to a full low drop at this point in the offseason, but if your league doesn't require that, like if the historical trending in your league is like 20%, 40% for guys like that, then don't full load drop. I just can't tell you. Like I play in a league where you have to do $100 out of 100 if you want anybody. Anybody. You want a tight end, your crafters out there, $100. But your league might not be that way, so I can't tell you. I can just tell you that we're getting into the thick of things, and I don't know that there's going to be a lot of big options left. It is what it is at this point. You kind of got to overpay to get a guy, but you got to use the trending in your league. Is he worth it? I don't know. I mean, Cook still should come back to his job, but you never know how this could shake out. Davis, certainly, if he gets a full lock on that job, will win leagues. So if Cook can't stay healthy, then he's going to win a league. If Cook can stay healthy, it's going to be cloudy.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right, later. Yeah, later. Appreciate you. Ethan says, is Bowers him? Of course he is. He's probably a top. I would rather have him over Swift in Dynasty. In redraft, it's very arguable because Swift is playing well and is a running back. Trade Kupp and Eckler and Pittman for CMC JD in a 12-man league. I mean, that depends on your QB too, my guy, and a lot of things. But I'd say, Kupp and Eckler and Pittman, if you've got like a competent backup quarterback and you don't need JD5, like let's say you got Kyler and you're just panicking, you could be potentially overpaying because Kupp's a very valuable asset. And, a Kyler Murray with a Kupp is better than the JD5, and let's say CMC doesn't come back. And if CMC comes back and looks good, then the CMC side and JD5 is going to win out. So I would probably say this. If you don't have CMC in any other leagues, maybe you take the gamble on the JD5 CMC side in one league and see what happens. But I don't know. It's a tough call. Kupp is very, very good. He's got the bye week out of the way. 10-man league, who should I take off waivers for the rest of the season? Xavier Worthy or Douglas? Go Worthy, bro. Come on. Worthy's got like potential wide receiver 1 value. Douglas is solid, but he's a wide receiver 5. That's like asking, should you pick up the steak dinner at the local deli or grab some ham? Who likes ham? I don't like ham. Trade away Jacobs and Tyreek for Achane and Waddle. It's pretty even, bro. I'd probably take Achane and Waddle. If Tyreek's going to bounce back, that means Tua's there and Waddle's going to kind of bounce back. So give me the Achane and Waddle side. All right, Cap, you're live. You got 20 seconds.
Hey, ham sandwich is good, bro. Listen, look, okay? I just got offered Davante Smith for Davante Adams. Do I pull the trigger, bro?
I take Davante Smith.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Yeah. I mean, his bye week's out of the way. He went nuts this past week. Looked great. I think he had another touchdown. Would have had I think 2 touchdowns. It was a good game for him. 12-man Yahoo League, Dak, MHA, Tyreek, Olave, Mixon, Monty, Keenan Allen, Dalton, Mitchell. I'm 4-2. Should I make any moves? I'd probably say you're gonna try and move. God, I mean, your team looks good, but like Hubbard and Olave, Hubbard and MHJ, I know they're injured right now, but maybe somebody's saying, hey, I'll give you a player like I don't think you could get a Lamb. You try though, but maybe you get a Neighbors injured right now with the concussion. People are worried. Would I trade right now Olave for Nico? Yes, I'd wait on that. Would I trade Hubbard for Nico right now and wait on that? Yes, I would. Those are 2 moves I would make with that team. But your team's pretty good. I almost want to say like stand down to a degree. And that would be a move that I feel like you're standing down, but you're also accumulating talent for later. Dak, Hall, Kyron, Mason. Look at this team. It's good. What are you going to do with this team? Nothing. Maybe compile together a couple players like Bigsby and Waddle for one monster. Maybe try and upgrade Mason into Gibbs using maybe Waddle. Something like that I would definitely look to potentially do. Rock out, you're live.
Hello?
Rock out, you're live.
Yeah, I got a question from one of my friends. He wants to know if this trade is cheating. I know he fleeced him, but tell me if you think he was cheating. He's getting Barkley and Gibbs, and he sent it over Connor, McBride, Romeo Dobbs, and Rashad White.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheating. Oh, I don't know. How do I know if it's cheating? But that's a horrible trade.
Yeah, I know. I told him I said it was good for you, but I wouldn't say it's cheating.
Well, if he's the one involved, ask him if he's cheating. I don't know.
Apparently, the other guy wanted to trade.
No, it's not cheating. I mean, it's unless I can't know if it's collusion. I have no idea. I just know it's a horrible trade. Who's he getting again?
He's getting Barkley and Gibbs.
I mean, you're getting 2 first-rounders. I don't know why he would do that. I think he needs to be removed from the league after he makes his trade. But the league's gonna have a problem with it, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's the commissioner, and he accepts the trade. He only vetoes if it's like collusion.
That's
So
tough
he
to
was
do.
asking me.
Well, I mean, he would know if it's cheating. He's involved. Like, of course if there's no cheating, he could say, "Look, guys, I'm sorry, I got this offer, but I gotta accept it." Like, but I don't know. It's a horrible trade.
Yeah, apparently the other guy offered it to him, I think.
Yeah, horrible trade. All right, rock out. Got to run. Anything else, real quick?
Nothing fast, but we can work on a trade later.
All right, cool. Rock out to the moon. Later, bro. Offer Davante Adams for my Kareem Hunt. I would rather have, honestly, if you need an RB, I could get behind the Hunt side, and if you need a wide receiver, I think it's pretty even. I go with what your need is, but I think Adams feels a little bit more valuable right now, especially with the news. So I feel like I would take the Adams side. Waddle got dropped. Drop Braylon Allen and add Waddle probably, or will I play week? Drop your kicker or defense right now. Oh, I'm dropping Bears D. Yeah, I'd probably take Adams right now. Waddle right now. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I like Braylon Allen, but. Coble with a $10 hauler. What's your take on Sean Tucker? I like him. I just think it's not a matter of what the beat writer thinks. The beat writer doesn't know more than the coach. The coach has already told you. Like, the beat writer's talking out of school because the coach has said it's a 3-headed monster now. So we already know that he's getting a third of the work. It's going to be messy. And when Bowles says something, it's usually the case. I would say that this is a 3-headed monster. Bowles said it's a 3-headed monster. That means Sean Tucker is not the lone starter. Now, if Rachaad White can't stay healthy, and let's just say Bucky Irving was also banged up, all of a sudden Sean Tucker becomes a force. So he definitely needs to be grabbed, but this is not a clear situation or a great situation right now. Mixon for Mason and CMC. I'd rather have probably Mason and CMC, but it's a really, really tough call because Mixon's playing out of his mind. Full PPR, 10 teams, sitting third, 4-2. Fields, AR5. It's not AR15, it's AR5. Cup, Hill, Collins, JSN, Dobbs, Connor, Pollard, Tracy, Pacheco, tight end Pitts. I'd probably say, Jacob, I'd try and get like, man, I like your team though. I'd try and get a running back upgrade. Connor, Pollard, or Tracy in conjunction with maybe, I don't know that you can make any moves, bro. Because you can't sell Hill on the low. Collins you can't sell on the low. I don't know, bro. This is not an easy trade to make. I mean, I'd probably say if you could trade Connor and Tracy, or Connor and Pollard, or Tracy and Pollard, very unorthodox trade. But to get like a JT injured, Kamara, I mean, I'd do that, but I don't know that there's anything else. Gibbs, I've seen people get Gibbs for like a Connor and Pollard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you try. Walker straight up for that combo. HN straight up for that combo. Go get Benson using Tracy to secure your backfield. Maybe get some more. No, I don't know if I'd do that, actually. Hold Tracy. Try and get Benson somehow. But I'd probably stand down before I make any weird moves with your wide receivers because I don't think the value's there. And then, maybe AR5 is your friend. London and Dobbins for Davante Adams. Yeah, bro, I'd rather have London alone over Davante Adams. What are you doing? Don't get caught up in the hype, bro. London's worth more than Davante. You're going to give up JK too? I mean, you're getting blasted on that trade. Blasted, bro. Annihilated. All right, guys. Appreciate all of you. I'll be back later. Davante Adams traded. Now we got to redo the video. Okay, last super chat. If you drop a super chat while I'm out the door, make sure you repost your question. And don't put, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Say, Smitty, I posted it late. Can you answer this? Post it in the comments. Not in the live chat. In the comments of the video if you end up dropping one late. I'll answer it. And there's also super thanks where you can ask a super thanks question. Have Love, Fields, Josh Allen, trade for Allen Let's see. Trade Allen for T. Higgins and Corum. Not enough. Have Garrett Wilson, Lamb owner, and Hill owner not interested. I mean, I'd rather go get Nico Collins, Hernandez, and thank you for the $10 hauler. Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins, etc., etc. I mean, I'm not trading Josh Allen for T. Higgins, bro. It's not even close. Thomas, what time zone does Smitty go live? I'm live Monday through Friday, bro, at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. I go live additionally when news breaks like this. I just go live. And I'm live most midnights at Eastern. All right. Appreciate you all. Thomas, thank you, pal. Thank you, Hernandez. And then Hernandez, just to give you a little bit extra help here, I'd say maybe go Chase Brown and Garrett Wilson for like a JT. You know what I'm saying, bro? Something like that. And John with the final super chat. Matthew, welcome to the exclusive members, bro. Any moves on this team? I'd say B-Rob or Hunt with Deontay or Garrett Wilson for one like Tyreek Hill and above player. Gibbs, Achane, smash. All right, I'll see you later, guys. If you drop a super chat late, make sure you put it in the comments, not the live chat comments, the comments of the video, and say, Smitty, I dropped it late. I'm sorry. Here you go. Boom. Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey man, it's Davante Adams again. Call me back, bro.
In your eyes, the light that hit your eyes, complete your lies.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber swinging Skywalker.
I'll be back. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Man, Davante, we're going to have to redo that animation. Davante Adams is going to kick Garrett Wilson outside. Davante Adams gets the last laugh. Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you all on the Patreon. Links in the description if you want to join the Patreon. 24/7 live chatting. It's just basically an extension of the live chat. See you all later.